Hello, Moyne, and welcome to another episode of LCTV. I'm Alex Stamis.
And I'm Matt Clark. Now, before we get started tonight with your regularly planned news, we have breaking news here at LCTV. Kardashian divorce. Instant take, Alex. What do you have?
I thought the thing on Twitter was pretty funny with the whole Kim Kardashian's, like, what was the hashtag again?
It was things longer than Kim's marriage.
And the one was the trick-or-treating line at Casey Anthony's house.
Yeah, someone thought that was too soon, but it was pretty good. There was
I thought it was pretty good.
I mean, longer than a giraffe's neck wasn't quite doing it, so they had to ramp it up a notch. But let's talk about people who do have some talent.
All right. Moyne News. Broke, a critically acclaimed documentary about new past musicians must take to reach new audiences, premiered this weekend on November 7th. The screening was held at the Jesuit Theater in the Pack. Directors Will Gray and executive producer Dan Beck were in attendance.
In other Lemoyne news, Lemoyne colleges to launch their own school of business. This will drastically change the amount of students interested in Lemoyne and further help students capitalize on their futures in business education. The school will focus on the 4 centers of study of applied business analysis, the Center for Entrepreneurship, the Centers for Study of Global Business, and the Center for Experimental Leadership.
Recently, SGA, or Student Government Association, has been trying to raise a meeting to discuss Lemoyne being a smoke-free campus. The association has not come up with a decision, but are going over things in the future. If you have any ideas or concerns about this matter, contact the SGA through lemoyne.campusgroups.com.
In national news, a recent study shows a few drinks a week will raise breast cancer risk. With Breast Cancer Awareness Month just a few weeks ago, the study shows that even small amounts of alcohol, as few as 3 drinks a week, can elevate the risk of breast cancer. All types of alcohol were present in this study, and it was found that heavy drinking led, whether it be beer or red wine, held the same effect. Research looked at the habits of more than 100,000 women over the past 30 years and linked it to the alcohol consumption.
In the digital age of Facebook, Twitter, and constant cell phone use, close person-to-person communication has hit an all-time low, especially in San Diego, California, when a woman was caught texting at her own wedding. Down the aisle, the bride pulled out a cell phone out of the top of her dress and used it to text while holding her father's hand with the other. Stay tuned for more footage of the texting bride.
Exclusive.
This is a relationship which must abide in genuine love, remembering that God Himself has established it by His means. By the high standard of love, God's wisdom gives marriage to promote goodness, happiness, and holiness, not by whim or option, but as the foundation of the home. Amen. The generation of children under perfect social order, and so it must remain until the end of time.
For national news, Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks founder, can be extradited to Sweden for questioning over the allegation of sexual abuse made by him and 2 women last year. The court is still up in question about Assange's ruling, but have asked him to appear back in court in 14 days.
And now over to Syracuse news. In special Syracuse news, the SPCA is charging an owner for dog cruelty, ultimately leading the dog to be put to sleep. The dog from Syracuse came in severely overweight, found in a basement, only be weighed close to 25 pounds. The dog named Princess is only 2 years old.
And final Syracuse news, another Syracuse school, SUNY ESF, has found its students and arrested them on felony drug charges on a Westcott Street raid. Police found pot and cocaine as well as a cash and shotgun. The police were notified by neighbors of the students.
Seems like all we had was nothing but bad news tonight.
Yeah, it's no good news, except snow's coming.
Snow, is that good news?
I mean, Syracuse basketball's here.
Syracuse basketball, that's good news. Speaking of Syracuse basketball, we're going to turn it over to the Chris and Jeremiah show for LCTV Sports. Stay tuned.
Welcome to LCTV Sports. We're your hosts, Jeremiah Deep
and Crystal Fever.
In Lemoyne College sports, the men's soccer team came back from a 2-0 deficit to beat Merrimack 3-2 yesterday. In the 36th minute, after Merrimack added a second goal to lead 2-0 in the first half, freshman Casey Murphy crossed the ball into the box, and Cal Fitch, who headed the ball into the net for the first career goal. Freshman Alexander Lautner in the 51st minute, broke the set piece and scored the second goal to tie the game at 2.
Then about 6 minutes later, Merrimack was awarded with a penalty kick
for a handball in the box. Sophomore goalkeeper Matthew Silva made one of his 6 saves to keep the game tied at 2. Then Zachary McNabb scored the game-winning goal in the 83rd minute to make the score 3-2. The Dolphins advanced to the Northeast 10 semifinals for the 4th straight year on Friday at 4 p.m. against top-seeded Franklin Pierce. Franklin Pierce knocked the Dolphins out of the semifinals last year with a 1-0 win.
Well, good luck to the Dolphins, and hope that they come out with a victory on Friday.
Definitely.
In other sports, the St. Louis Cardinals defeated the Texas Rangers 6-2 for their 11th World Series and second with manager Tony La Russa. And Tony La Russa just announced his retirement a couple days ago after 33 seasons as a Major League manager, and he spent the past 16 with the St. Louis Cardinals. He is one of 2 managers to win the World Series in both the AL and NL. Sparky Anderson was the other.
You know, hats off to him. I think he's the 3rd most winningest coach in MLB history.
Yeah,
too.
great. He won, like you said, we won with the Oakland A's and then the St. Louis Cardinals. So great
way
career.
to end his career.
Yes, great manager.
The Buffalo Bills moved to 5-2 on the season. 5-2 on the season after defeating the Washington Redskins 23-0 Sunday in Toronto. Quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick is locked in as the starter as he got a 6-year, $59 million contract extension in which $24 million is guaranteed. With the win, the Bills are in a tied possession of first place in the AFC East and will host the New York Jets on Sunday.
It's a great win for the Buffalo Bills, and Ryan Fitzpatrick getting payday, so great for him.
Definitely. I feel like he's definitely deserving of it. They definitely have a great shot to make a playoff run, assuming that they make it.
Yes, and a team that's standing in their way is the New York Giants, and they shook off a shaky start against the Miami Dolphins to win 20-17. Eli Manning passed for 349 yards and completed 31 of 45 passes with 2 touchdowns in the come-from-behind win. The win improves the Giants' record to 5-2 as they travel to New England Sunday to take on the Patriots.
You know, that should be a great game. If only the Giants could play 4 full quarters of football. If they don't, I know Tom Brady and company is going to be
there you
to
go.
take care of it.
They have to play 4 quarters against the New England Patriots in that great offense.
We'll see what happens there. It should be an interesting game.
Yes, indeed.
But in NBA news, because there is a work stoppage in the NBA, there will be no opening night games in the NBA. There was no opening night games in the NBA last night, but instead, just another day added to the NBA lockout. There are many questions still to be answered, but for now, until they all are answered, we the fans can do all we can do is sit around and hope the players and owners can come up with an agreement.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to not see the NBA working right now. I really miss the NBA right now. I hope that they come to an agreement soon.
Definitely, you gotta just root for Derek Fisher and the union. And
there's a big conflict going on right now, so we'll see if they'll be able to get that resolved.
Yeah, hopefully we can watch some NBA this year and watch the Knicks dominate.
There you go. Thank you for tuning into LCTV Sports this week. We are very glad to be your new anchors. I am Jeremiah Deep.
And Christopher Lefevre.
Thank you for joining LCTV Sports, and have a nice night. Welcome to LCTV Sports. We're your hosts, Jeremiah Deep.
And Chris Lefevre.
In Le Moyne College sports, the men's soccer team came back from a 2-0 deficit to beat Merrimack 3-2 yesterday. In the 36th minute, after Merrimack added a second goal to lead 2-0 in the first half, freshman Casey Murphy crossed the ball into the box, and Cal Fitch, who headed the ball into the net for the first career goal. Freshman Alexander Lautner in the 51st minute, broke the set piece and scored the second goal to tie the game at 2.
Then about 6 minutes later, Merrimack was awarded with a penalty kick for a handball in the box.
Hello, Lemoyne. I'm Alex Stamis. I'm sitting here with Jimmy Fenton, a representative of the Occupy Lemoyne movement, and I'm interviewing him today just to kind of give everybody a heads up on what Occupy Lemoyne is and the goals of the movement. So, Jimmy, can you explain what you were doing by creating the group of Occupy Lemoyne?
Well, right now we consider ourselves kind of an educational group. We found that there's kind of a lack of knowledge among Lemoyne students about the whole Occupy Wall Street protest and everything that's going on with it. So we're trying to raise the issues on campus and get students to participate a little bit more in the discussion.
So it's bringing the Wall Street, the Wall Street movement local?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. Now, what are your goals of the whole Occupy Lemoyne movement?
Well, the catchphrase we've kind of adopted is that we want to end apathy. Like I said before, we've kind of noticed a lack of political activism on campus, and I think these are issues that kind of affect all of us as, you know, citizens and as students, and it's good we're trying to bring more people into the discussion and to raise their voices.
That's good to know, because we were just having a discussion about this before the show, and not a lot of people know exactly what's going on with the Wall Street movement, so it seems like a good thing to bring on campus. Now, can you explain a little bit of what you're trying to prove by creating this group?
Well, we're trying to prove that, I've heard a lot of people say, what can we do as students? What is, you know, how can we make a difference? And what they need to know is that the people who control these large corporations, the 1%, as they've come to be called, spend millions of dollars and have a lot of powerful lobbyists in Congress trying to push their agenda. And we may not have the money and the millions of dollars to do it, but we can, together, we can raise our voices and, you know, speak up for our rights and our agenda as people.
So it's allowing the students to essentially have a voice and give them an opportunity to feel like they're having an impact.
Yeah, give them a voice and show them that they can have an impact on the larger national issues.
Alrighty. Now, what's your personal opinion on the Occupy Wall Street movement?
I think it's great. I think that it's time, you know, we hear a lot about the radicalism and the activism of the late 60s, early 70s. I think it's been a while since the American public has kind of gotten together over something and fought for their rights, and I think it's great that we're finally seeing that. It was about time.
It's always good to voice your opinion, right?
Yeah. Asking what they can do to get involved and to take part in this movement. And so I want to just say we have meetings every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. in the Den, and this Saturday we'll be showing V for Vendetta in celebration of Guy Fawkes Day at 7 p.m. in the Honors Penthouse. So come down and you can see what we're all about there.
Definitely a good movie. Problem with the lack of press coverage of Occupy Wall Street?
I think there's a bit of a negative stereotype that's coming out. I think that with any group and with any movement, you're going to have a couple of people who are a little on the extreme side, and those are the people who have been shown in a lot of the news footage. And I think what people need to remember is that it's always good to question who you're getting your news from and, you know, what they might be showing you, what they might be leaving out. And so I think there's a lot of really good intentioned people down there who are just peacefully protesting, who aren't getting the coverage, and the people who go a little crazy are.
So they're being a little bit misrepresented.
I think so, yes.
Well, hopefully this Occupy Le Moyne movement has the impact you guys are looking for. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us.
Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. Alex Samus. I'm sitting here with Miles P., a musical artist here at Le Moyne College. Now, first off, Miles, what's your year and your major?
I'm a senior this year. My major is accounting.
Accounting, so that's a little bit far off from the music
right? You got to balance the business and the music, you know.
Work with play, right?
Best of both worlds.
So how did you get into music and performing?
Well, I've always been into music. My dad was a DJ when I was young, so he was always playing music when I was just running around the house in my diapers. And as far as performing, you know, I've always been like the kind of center of the group. You know, everyone comes to me for the laugh or whatever. Started off when I really started considering this, my high school year, senior year, I did a rap for our football team at the pep rally, kind of just about our whole class and our rivals, stuff like that. Everyone loved it. They're like, do one for our senior year, our entire class. So I did that, and then, you know, the rest is history.
So it just
progressively progressed, encouragement from everybody, and
that's what you need right there, encouragement.
Exactly.
Now, how do you handle both the schoolwork and making your own music?
It's hard.
I bet.
It's really hard, you know, because then you also have the nightlife that you got to balance in there too. Honestly, I think it just comes like having a passion for it. You just find a way to make it fit. You know, you just stay focused, do your work. You know, you don't eat lunch for 2 hours.
So the motivation to follow your dream just kind of helps you take care of itself because you just have the motivation, so you just find a way to make it work.
Yeah, it's just the mind state, you know, like you always have excuses, but you got to just acknowledge those and just put them to the side, save them for later.
Easy enough. Well, not easy enough, but
easier said than done.
Yes, exactly. Now, what are your goals for the future with your music?
Well, obviously, I want to be on that stage with the gold Grammy.
A gold Grammy.
But immediately, I just put out an album over the summer.
Really?
Just put out a mixtape as well, Kaleidoscope Dreams. You can get them on milespmusic.com. Right now, we're just pushing those. My immediate goals, I'm learning guitar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slow process, but I'm picking it up pretty good. I'm also learning how to sing. I mean, I can kind of do it, but you know, that takes time. So basically, I'm just working on those, trying to find my real sound so we can push that out. You know, DJ Z-Fi, been working a lot together. So my immediate goal right now is to just get as many shows as possible.
Just to get your name out there?
Exactly.
Now, who's your favorite band or artist that maybe inspired you or just you like to listen to?
When anybody asks me that, you know, the list goes on.
I have the same problem. I can't narrow it down to just one. But I mean, maybe first one that comes to mind.
First one that comes to mind, Kid Cudi I listen to a lot.
Okay.
He's got simple lyrics. My lyrics are more cryptic, but he's just real. You know, he says like what he thinks, what he feels, he says it. And he says it good. That's just hip hop though. You know, I like everything brand new.
Brand new's good.
They're really true. They're from the heart. You know, they say what they're feeling, and like I really oppose that whole conformity. Like, you know, everybody talks about what they think everyone else wants to hear instead of saying how they feel. Because if real artists say how they feel and people react to that, and that's how you know you're good. That's what I think.
That's how I feel too. Because I personally follow 30 Seconds to Mars, their new album.
Yeah, I like them.
The new one is more. Because their old stuff was kind of like the emo conformist to what everybody likes at that moment, but now they're more about what they want to do. So I see exactly where you're coming from there. Do you have a special pre-show ritual that you do?
Well, I'm 21 now, so I can legally say it. You know, we just hang out, Red Bull and Liquid Courage, usually is the pregame. We try to just because we're new to this, so you kind of get a little nervous before everything. So we kind of just try to loosen up, you know, just goof off. Definitely stretch though, because we get rowdy up there. You don't want to pull a muscle right.
Yeah, that's probably more embarrassing than forgetting a lyric.
Exactly.
To go off lipping.
Yeah.
You've gotten the music out. Do you write your own lyrics?
I do.
You do.
I write my own lyrics.
Do you base them off of like life experience, or does just anything that comes to you at the moment?
Both.
Both.
Definitely. I have right now I'm working on my own, like I said, I'm working on guitar. So I'm working on making my own real like music along with my lyrics, so everything can just be me. But I have producers, and DJ is also a producer. But yeah, I base them off my own experiences, my own, sometimes it's just how I feel that day, you know, if I feel like making something fun, if I feel like making something sad, you know, it just kind of go with the flow.
I feel like that's the best way to do it, because then you get the true emotion behind it.
Right.
We kind of already touched on who your biggest influence is. Is it Kid Cudi, or is there a bigger influence than him?
My biggest influence, I wouldn't say it's an artist. I would say it's everyone around me.
Really?
I would say it's my fans, you know, my parents, my friends, my family, because that's what gives me material. That's what, you know, creates these melodies in my head.
It's what keeps you going.
Right.
Exactly.
Definitely.
That's a good way to find motivation. Now tell us about your new album, Rhythm and Ruckus.
Rhythm and Ruckus we were working on for about a year. It's really good. I try to stay modest, but I mean I really like it. We tried a lot of different new sounds, because my first mixtape, the LMP, that was kind of just getting my feet wet. Now I have the Rhythm and Ruckus, the album, and it's, you know, it ranges from songs that are influenced by like CeeLo. I have this one song called Evil, BICH. You know, it has a lot of singing in it. And then I also have songs called Ill Behavior. It's over techno beat, like a rap or like a house faster beat. It gets everyone jumping.
So you got you got a wide variety of sound.
It touches everything
on the
yeah.
CD. So that's good, because what most people don't like, I mean myself at least, I don't like how one CD will focus on one sound.
Yeah.
It's good that you got a variety in it.
Right. Yeah. I try not to just make my songs or my projects sound like one giant 40-minute song.
Because then no one wants to listen to the whole thing.
Right.
If you have something new,
right,
it gives people more incentive to listen to the entire album.
I try to give it the like emotional roller coaster. You know, you're up, and then you're down, and then you're back up, and you're
So there you got a whole structure to it.
Right.
So moving on from the album, how do you feel about your new mixtape you just released on October 29th, Kaleidoscope Dreams?
Now that one is really fun. You know, it's like it's a mixtape, so it's kind of just like I don't want to say that I didn't take it as seriously, but it's not as serious as the album. You know, it's a lot of rap, it's a lot of again, and a lot of more experimenting with my vocal range and my melodies and stuff. There's some stories in it, but a lot of it is let's have fun.
Just like a freestyle, I guess you could say, or
not necessarily freestyle. Freestyle is more, you know, just literally just say what comes to your mind. It's more structured. It's more concentrated, more harnessed. But as far as kind of what just comes to your mind, how you feel, how that beat makes you feel, it's a lot of dubstep.
Okay.
So you can, if you're familiar with dubstep, it's really high energy. You want to party when you listen to that stuff. So that's kind of like what it is.
And a ton of people are in dubstep now, so I'm sure that that hits home with everyone right now.
Yeah, everyone needs to check that out. Trust me, I haven't heard anything bad about that one yet. It'll be on YouTube soon, SoundCloud, but right now it's on milespmusic.com, free download. They're both free, actually.
Oh, okay.
I want to put out my music as free. I feel like people for me personally, I don't buy music anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's just too easy to download right on my computer. It might be bad, but I mean, I get mine out for free. It's kind of like a karma circle.
And the thing is too, it's funny because like people will buy like a $200 iPod, and then they see a 99-cent song, and they're like, whoa, 99 cents.
True, very true.
That's how I think about it.
I didn't even think about it.
Then if I see a free song, I'm more likely to download it, even if it just sounds like remotely catchy. I'll be like, okay, I'll download it because I want to listen to the whole thing.
Right.
So that's a good way to angle it to it, because like if it's 99 cents, people are going to see it like, wait a minute, this is 99 cents.
Exactly,
like,
exactly. You're more inclined to try it out if it's free. You know, free samples. You don't just walk into Sam's Club or BJ's and you're like, oh, let me grab that $30 steak. What if the sample's right there? You're like, oh, I'll definitely try that.
Yeah, before you invest in that
exactly.
$30 steak, I hear. So do you have any upcoming shows, and if you do, when are they and where are they?
Right now we're working on a lot of shows. We're trying to capture the college scene right now, the college demographic. So we've been talking with a lot of frats from Penn State to SU to Virginia Tech, Southern Florida University.
So you're going all over the country?
Trying to go everywhere right now, yeah. Immediately, we're working on a show at Moyne.
Really?
So I'm not going to get into too many details about that, but stay tuned.
Anything else you'd like to add?
milespmusic.com, Z5 Music, check it out. It's coming soon. We're taking over. Lost Boys.
That's Miles P. I'm Alex Stamis. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
Thanks for coming on.
All right.